Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll tell you the story of the clever answer. It was a bright and lively morning in the court of Emperor Akbar. The royal court buzzed with discussions as ministers debated laws and poets recited verses. Amidst all this, Akbar leaned back on his cushioned throne, his sharp eyes scanning the court. Suddenly he smiled mischievously and said, "Birbal, today I have a challenge for you." Birbal, who stood beside the throne, gave a slight bow. "I am ready, Jahapanna." Akbar stood and looked around at his courtiers. "I want to test your quick thinking. If you can answer my question wisely, I shall reward you. But if you fail, you must give up your turban for a day." Gasps rose from the courtiers. Birbal's turban was not just a cloth. It symbolized his honor and position in the court. Birbal smiled calmly. "Very well, Your Majesty. What is your question?" Akbar said, "Tell me, Birbal, if you had to choose between a sun that never sets, a river that never dries, or a tree that bears fruit every hour, which would you choose and why?" The courtiers leaned in. It was a puzzling question. Each option seemed magical and valuable. Birbal paused only for a minute before replying. "I would choose the sun that never sets, Your Majesty." Akbar raised an eyebrow. "Why the sun? Wouldn't a river that never dries feed thousands? Or a tree that bears endless fruit end hunger?" Birbal nodded. "True, Your Majesty, but listen closely. If the sun never sets, there will always be light. No more fear, no more darkness, and all work could go on without pause. With continuous daylights, crop would grow faster, rivers would be replenished naturally through evaporation and rainfall, and trees would bear more fruit from constant sunlight. In short, the sun brings life to everything else. Without it, the river would dry and the tree would wither, but with it, everything thrives." There was a moment of silence. Then Akbar clapped his hands. "Brilliant! You didn't just answer the question, you saw beyond the obvious. That is why I trust your wisdom." The court echoed with applause. However, not everyone was pleased. A jealous minister in the court, who had long envied Birbal's favor, stepped forward. "Forgive me, Jahapanna, but I have a question for Birbal as well," he said slyly. "Let us see if his cleverness still holds." Akbar nodded. "Go ahead." The minister smirked. "Birbal, can you tell us something that is true and false at the same time?" The courtiers murmured. This was a tricky one. Birbal thought for a second and then said, "Of course, my answer is, you are wise." The court burst into laughter. Akbar could barely contain his amusement. The minister turned red with embarrassment. Akbar laughed heartily. "Birbal, not only have you passed my challenge, you have answered too, and both with humor and wit." He turned to a servant. "Bring forth the royal turban of honor." The rich embroidered turban, twice as grand as Birbal's usual one, was placed on his head. "Today," Akbar declared, "you do not lose your turban. Instead, you earn a second one." The court cheered and Birbal bowed with a twinkle in his eye. So the moral of the story is that wisdom lies not only in knowledge, but in the ability to think beyond the obvious, and sometimes with a sense of humor. Thank you, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more such fascinating stories. Bye bye, and see you all very soon in my next video.